भगवान की जय, महापति महादेव की जय, बिंद्रावन बिहारी लाल की जय, आज श्री दुर्गा मैया की जय। सब कोई everyone. Let me welcome all of you, those of you who are here with us physically this morning, as well as those of you who are viewing us online to the Krishna Mandir here at 43rd Street. Indeed, a very beautiful, wonderful Sunday morning as we come together to offer our love and our adorations to Bhagwan. As we do so this morning, for those of you who are unable to come, we hope that you are joining us together with your family members as we join together in offering our love to Bhagwan. We will commence with our invocation mantras and we invite you to join together with us, keeping your hands clasped and indeed focusing your mind on that form of God that you find most endearing. It is indeed a wonderful occasion as we approach that wonderful festival of Diwali, which will be celebrated next Saturday. And as we do so, many of you will be engaged in the cleaning of your homes and preparations to celebrate Diwali in a slightly different way this year with the effects of the pandemic. But this morning, as we come together, let us do so with that sense of love and that sense of devotion. We assume that position of reverence as we join together in invocation. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswate Namaha. Om Shri Guru Janakavadebhyo Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvignam Kuru Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Jayanti Mangalamani Bhadrakali Gopalini Durgakshama Shivaratri Swaha Sudha Namaste Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsajanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Mandir Jagatguru Navindraharaya Tribhojinaya Bhasmankaraya Maheshwara Divyaya Shudha Digambaraya Tasmai Nagaraya Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandra Vedase Raghunathaaya Madhaya Sitaye Pateye Namaha. Om Manogaram Maruguriyam Jetindriyam Buddhimanam Kadishtam Vatanajam Varayudukam Shri Ramadukam Shri Namani. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. We join together now to bring our love and our adoration to Bhagwan through the future. Let us join together and glorify Bhagwan.
Jai Ganesh In preparation for observing Diwali next Saturday, we will join in reciting mantras of the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. Namaste astu Mahamai, Shri Vede Sudapujite, Shankacharpranadahaste, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Namaste Garudadhude, Bholasurabayangari, Sarvapapahare Devi, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Sarvaki Sarvakardevi, Sarvadushtabayangari, Sarvadukahari Devi, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Koti Prade Devi, Koti Koti Pradayani, Varnamurti Sada Devi, Mahalakshmi Namostute, Rama
Sabkoi Jai Sri Ram, everyone. This morning, it is indeed my pleasure to welcome you, those of you who are here physically to the Mandir. Restrictions having been lifted to some extent to allow us to have our face-to-face satsang and our face-to-face Sunday morning service. Last Sunday would have been the first since the lifting of the restrictions. And as you would be aware, the timeline is still 1 hour. Yesterday there has been an adjustment to an hour and a half, but that will not take effect today, but hopefully from next week. So we will be monitoring and moving accordingly. In addition to that, the restrictions in terms of the protocols are in place. And it starts off with the wearing of face masks, which we all are, and I'm very proud to see that you all are wearing face masks and are doing so properly. And more than that, the concept of sanitizing of hands, which you would have done coming into the Mandir, and maintaining the physical distancing, as you all have been adhering to. In addition to that, and to ensure your safety at the Mandir, other protocols have been put in place, which include the wearing of the disposable gloves when you're going up to perform your arati, which we will ask you to adhere to, so that there is no cross-infection in the event that anybody is infected in any way, but just an additional layer of care, and also to ensure that when you are doing your final arati again, there is no touching of any of the implements that would be used by others. So those are some of the measures that we've put in place here at the Mandir to ensure the safety of you, our wonderful devotees, to ensure that when you come to the Mandir that you can do so with that sense of peace and that sense of safety, knowing that you and your family members are well protected. And again, we will urge persons who may be exhibiting any signs of flu-like symptoms to please, wherever you are, to stay at home when you are experiencing those and ensure that you get the proper medical attention. This pandemic and the effects of this will continue to be with us well into next year. And as Hindus, it is important for us to learn to adapt, as we've been doing here at the Mandir. This morning I ask you to join me very briefly for a very brief pravachan as we are approaching that wonderful, wonderful festival of Diwali, which, as was said earlier, will be observed next Saturday. So let us join our palms together now and just offer this mantra to Lakshmi Mata as we offer her glories. Hari Om Shri Lakshmi Devi Namo Namaha Lakshmi Karodu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampadam Mama Kshatro Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murti Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute. Prem se bole Mahalakshmi Mata ki Jai. The celebration of Diwali is something that is very close to our hearts here in this country of Trinidad and Tobago, as indeed it is for many, many Hindus, indeed if not all Hindus worldwide. It is truly a universal celebration where in the recent times we have seen Diwali being celebrated at Buckingham Palace, we have seen Diwali being celebrated in the White House, we have indeed been seeing or experiencing Diwali being celebrated in nearly every country of the globe. And that reach and that spread is something that is wonderful. Right here in this country, we are accustomed to seeing Diwali celebrated in schools, seeing it celebrated in the workplaces, seeing it celebrated in the parliament, and indeed in every home, in every part of this Queen Island Republic. However, with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Diwali has not been cancelled. But the way in which we observe Diwali has been adjusted and altered to suit. So now we can no longer congregate in close proximity as we normally would have with our neighbors and our friends and our co-workers. And for the children, you would not have that face-to-face Diwali program or celebration in your schools. But what have we done as Hindus? We have tried our best to adapt and to adjust. So now we are seeing, gracing our television screens and our media, virtual Diwali celebrations that are taking place. And I'm sure all of you would have noticed on nearly every major television station, and throughout the airwaves that we have these Diwali programs. We've seen Hindus adapt to how Diwali should be celebrated, how Navratri was observed, how indeed Ram Leela was observed. We've seen that adaptation in order for a rich tradition and practice to continue. The way in which pujas are performed and rituals and so on have been adapted, not changed, in order to suit the circumstance. And that is the strength of Sanatana Dharma, our adaptability, and indeed the way in which we progress. I must commend the chairman of this mandir, together with his family members, for the initiative of the Diwali Caravan, which has again taken place this year. It took place on Friday and last night again on Saturday. And while I was not able to attend, I did see some of the clips and I did see some of the tributes coming in from the families and communities that it touched. And it indeed added that light and that dimension to celebration where otherwise there would have been none. And so I want to extend on behalf of all of us congratulations and commendations to the chairman, Mr. Mali Maharaj, and his family for that wonderful initiative. Yes, please give him a round of applause. That is something that shows an adaptation that can continue to spread the message. In addition to that, you will notice this evening on the YouTube channel of the Mandir and again on the Facebook page of the Mandir that the youths of this Mandir have continued their rich tradition of hosting a Diwali program. And this year, even though we are experiencing the restrictions as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's no exception. So this evening from 5 p.m., you will be witnessing our virtual Diwali program of the Krishna Mandir being hosted by the youths of the Krishna Mandir and involving all of the stakeholders of the Krishna Mandir with all dimensions. And this will be hosted on our YouTube channel. So all of you, even if you're not on Facebook, you can join in on YouTube. If you can't make it at 5 p.m., you can still view it after. But I urge you all to see the tremendous offering of the youths of our Mandir. And I want to join with you in congratulating the youths for this wonderful initiative. In addition to that, again, normally on a day like today, the Sunday before Diwali, we would have joined together everyone with your own little lady performing puja to Lakshmi Mata. Again, because of the restrictions, we are unable to do that. But what I can tell you is that we've recorded a very simple Lakshmi Mata puja. That step-by-step puja will be uploaded again on YouTube and on our Facebook page on Friday to allow you the opportunity of getting your implements together, getting your ingredients together, so that on Diwali day, on Saturday, you can, and I commend to you that you should sit with your family members and perform puja to Mahalakshmi in a very simple but hopefully very meaningful way. So that video, that step-by-step video which was recorded, will be uploaded by Friday so that you will have the opportunity to join in and to perform your own puja to Mahalakshmi. So you see that we have been trying here at the Mandir to make these various initiatives possible so that our observance of our rich tradition, our observance and our practices of Sanatana Dharma will continue unabated, but it will continue with some adjustments. What does Diwali mean to us? For many of us, it is a time, much to the dismay of the children, from weeks in advance, you have to clean every nook and cranny of the house. You have to cobweb everywhere, wipe every fancy block, as they would say, scrub the yard, scrub the step, and do all of that. So many persons would have experienced that. You pull out the Osina polish in days of yore, and you polish down all of the dressers and the wardrobes and all of those things. Those were the experiences in the past. You would paint your houses and you would varnish the floors and all of those things. And that is, for some persons, one of the major activities leading up to Diwali. Has that changed? No. So we will still continue with the preparation physically. Pandit Devendra last week spoke about fasting. Has that changed? No, that has not changed either. So we would have all been observing that practice of abstaining from those things that we should not be eating or drinking, as the case might be, as we lead up to Saturday in terms of Diwali. There are other things that were associated. For example, almost everybody would have the opportunity to want us to experience Diwali Nagar. We can't do that this year. Right? But does that mean that Diwali is diminished in any way? And the answer to that, devotees, brothers and sisters, is no. It gives us all a different opportunity. It is how we view the circumstances and how we deal with the circumstances. Do we deal with it and say, well, I have to pack Diwali aside this year because I can't invite all of my friends over, I can't invite all of my neighbors over? Do we say that? Or do we continue what Diwali is really supposed to mean to us? And it is, I would want to suggest, a time, especially now, where you can recommit not only to the Divine Mother in the form of Lakshmi Mata and all that she epitomizes, but it is a time for us to renew our connection with our family members. I'll repeat that. It is once more a time to renew our connection with our family members. And how do we do that? In this pandemic time, our children are seeing parents being very stressed because of the uncertainties at work and the jobs and uncertainty of the times. Persons are stressed because of the escalating crime levels. Persons are stressed because of the uncertainty of the future. Children themselves, as much as parents may not see it or observe it, they too are experiencing deep levels of stress and anxiety because of the change to an online environment. They are not able to go to school in a physical sense to interact with their friends and with their teachers and others and to learn in that way, but instead they are confined to the face of a screen, something electronically, which does not always augur well in terms of learning. And so children are stressed out. You are hearing all kinds of complaints. And therefore, in the midst of that turmoil, in the midst of all of that, what can we do? We are all familiar with two very famous kathas that are associated with Diwali. One of the kathas that are associated with Diwali has to do with the return of Prabhu Sri Ram to the city of Ayodhya after he was exiled for 14 years. That return was more than just a physical return of Prabhu Sri Ram. It meant something to the lives of the citizens of Ayodhya. That light which Prabhu Sri Ram epitomizes was gone for that long period. 14 years where they were thrust into darkness. And so his return spelled that once more reinvigoration of their city, of their lives and of their community. We are very familiar with that katha. Another katha that we are very familiar with is contained in Bhagavad Mahapuran, where we learn about the Samudra Manthan, or the churning of the ocean. And when we listen to that katha, there are many things that emerge. It is one of the accounts of why Shankar Bhagwan has that blue throat, because of the emergence of that deadly poison, that kalhal poison, that he had to consume to protect the world. But it also teaches us of the emergence of Mahalakshmi. But leading up to that, what is important is that turmoil, that uncertainty, that discord that existed, where the Asuras and the Devatas came together in churning of this ocean, churning of Shir Sagar, that ocean of milk. Or what does that mean to us in the 21st century? Is there some physical ocean that is made of milk that has to be churned by some means and things will emerge from it? No. The lessons there are about exactly what we are experiencing in our lives now. The uncertainties, the pull and pushes of different forces that impact upon us, whether we are adults or whether we are children. That turmoil that we face on a daily basis. Is it safe for me to go out? Should I stay at home? Should I do this? Should I not do this? What should I do? How should I interact? All of these thoughts continuously churn in our mind. And it is true that many things emerge, negative things emerge, as that kalahal poison. And unfortunately, some people pursue those negative thoughts and they end up along pathways that are undesirable, doing things that should not be done, practicing things that should not be practiced, engaging in activities that are undesirable and that cause harm not only to themselves but also to those around them. So yes, you can adopt and you can follow that path. Or you can follow what is truly meant. Look at the positives that emerge, the positive thoughts in particular that Lakshmi Mata represents. When we pray to her and we say, "Oh Ma, you are the goddess of prosperity," it should mean more than just financial prosperity. It should mean more than just material prosperity. The blessings of Mahalakshmi are meant to be so much more than that. When we speak of our blessings, we speak about the blessings of spiritual prosperity. The blessings that we can have that compassion, that empathy, that kindness, that patience, that serenity, that we can speak in a manner that our family members and those that we interact with can recognize that harmony and that love. Those are the kinds of things that we should be praying for to inculcate in our lives, not the negative things. We should never follow the path of negativity. And therefore, if we pray together as a family, notwithstanding that there may be differences, notwithstanding that there may be challenges, use it as an opportunity to heal those wounds. Use it as an opportunity to build those bridges. And when we do that, we recognize that slowly but surely we will emerge as that bright and that shining light that Mahalakshmi represents. Everything that is set out in Sanatana Dharma has a purpose. For the young ones, have you ever reconsidered or thought about why is it that Diwali is not observed on the same day of every year? Like, for example, Christmas. You know that Christmas is celebrated on the 25th of December every year. Why is Diwali not celebrated, let's say, on the 14th of November every year? Why does it change? And that has to do with several factors. The fact that our calendar or Panchang is calculated on a lunar cycle, but more than that, the lunar cycle represents the fact that it is celebrated on what is ostensibly the darkest night of the year. And if you think about, because in these modern times we can't conceptualize it, but think about if there was an electricity disruption and your place is totally, absolutely dark. Think of yourself in your homes when the electricity goes. The first thing you think about is, oh God, the air conditioner switch off, or the fan stop working, or mosquito will bite me if it's nighttime. But think about the darkness that envelops you. Think about if we didn't have the street lights, and we didn't have the lights in the house and so on, and how dark it could be. And then think about if you were to light one diya. That one diya that you ignite removes the darkness in a very substantial way. It allows you to see what is right in front of you. It allows you to see at a distance. And so it is that when we ignite that spark in our own lives, when we pray to Lakshmi Mata, when we inculcate those lights and those qualities that I just spoke about, then think of how we can see what is right in front of us. Sometimes our family and our loved ones who are closest to us, we do not see their hurt, we do not see their pain, we do not see their desires, because we are too close to the situation to recognize it. And therefore, when we enlighten our lives and enlighten ourselves with those blessings of Lakshmi Mata, that pathway opens up for us. When we speak to each other with kindness and warm words, with empathy and with compassion, then those relationships that were tested and tried are sometimes mended. It will not happen by the snap of a finger. But remember that saying, which is so true: the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Are we prepared to make that initial step in those relationships that need mending and those relationships that need rebuilding? Those are the things that Diwali ought to mean to us. Not the peripherals, not how many diyas I can light, not how many strings of electric lights I have, not how much takari I can cook and share, not how much mitai that I can make. Those things have some value, yes, but they're not important. Diwali should not mean how much fireworks I can buy and set off. And I hope nobody is doing that. Because especially in these harsh economic times, the value of what you are spending for those things that are unnecessary could be better placed in helping a family or an individual that is in need. Yes, you have the little sparklers that you can have the children feel excited about, but do not spend thousands of dollars, as many people do, wasting it and literally sending it up in smoke. Prioritize what you have and understand the value that it would mean to someone else. Those are the lessons and those are the teachings of Diwali for us. And therefore, as we celebrate, as I said, I want us all to be reminded of these kathas. Remember and think about the emotion that the citizens of Ayodhya must have felt when Prabhu Shri Ram was once more coming back to that city, having been banished for 14 years. Think about it in terms of how much pride, how much love they felt. Think of the unity that was experienced in that city at that time. For the past week, we've been bombarded about what is happening in the United States of America. Everybody probably knows which is a close seat and how much votes Biden needs to get the pathway to the White House and so on. Is that really important to us? Or is it more important that we understand the pathway to forging the bridges with our family members and with our own community and healing the divisions in this country? That is more important. So many things are being said about leadership at this point in time. So many persons are critical, but think about it. If you were in a position of leadership, what would you do? What would you do? It is easy to criticize. It is easy to condemn. But then the point is, what would you do if you were put in a position like that? It is telling to me that yesterday when the Prime Minister spoke about reopening of certain sectors of the economy, what was telling to me was when he reopened the in-house dining and restaurants, his biggest fear was, we don't want to serve alcohol. I don't know how many of you heard this speech. Why don't we want to serve alcohol? And he said that again on the last occasion. We're not opening service in bars because we are concerned about alcohol. What was his statement on that? Because when people consume alcohol, they start to act in a manner which is inappropriate. All care, caution, and best practice and good behavior goes out the window. And I could only smile and think, well, why in God's name did we decriminalize marijuana? Because that is the same thing happening in a different story. You can try and massage it or talk about it how you want. That is the reality. Illicit substances of any kind lead persons to a practice and a pathway that is undesirable. So when we observe these occasions of Diwali, when the Devendra spoke about the benefits of fasting, and it is not about fasting to lose weight or to look good. That is not the purpose of fasting. And similarly, those objects and those things that we are told at this time that we should rid ourselves of, there is a purpose for that. Because when we consume those things, when we engage in those habits, it has an adverse impact on our being. Think about the number of domestic violence situations in our country. And many of those are compounded by the fact that the abusers are involved in the consumption of some illicit substance or some illicit drug. Think about it. Many people hate festivals like Christmas and all of those things because it is associated with an increase in the consumption of alcohol and other substances. And that leads to tremendous terror in the home environment. Look at it. Don't accept my word for it. Think about what happens after celebrations where you have the association of those substances. Think about whether positives come from that or negatives. And then ask yourself, why is it then that for our religious observances, for example like Diwali, as Sanatanis Hindus, you are told in the scriptures of the practices that we should adopt. Not only the spiritual practices, not only the mental practices, but also the physical practices. So therefore, brothers and sisters, we're approaching the 5 days of Diwali. The 5 days of Diwali. Starting on Thursday with Dhanteras. Then on Friday, Yamdi Uchoti Diwali. Saturday, Lakshmi Mata Puja or Diwali as we would say. Sunday, Govardhan Puja. And Monday, Meduj. Those are the 5 days of Diwali, and you would have been exposed on all of the media, print and otherwise, of the kathas associated. Use the opportunity. If you can't celebrate all 5 days, then definitely on Saturday. Use that opportunity. The most important part of that celebration for us is sitting with your family members and worshipping Lakshmi Mata. There is nothing else that is more important. So for the gentlemen who would assume the kitchen on that day, so Kevin and Vishnu and Gangini, I know you all would step into the kitchen and tell the Lakshmi Matas, okay, take a rest, vocation otherwise. So Ren would not be cooking on that day. And they would step in and they would then manage the kitchen. That's important, to make sure the chana and aloo comes out good. Make sure the prasad that you prepare comes out well, but also ensure that you make time in some part of your home, whether it's your puja room, or if it's more comfortable in a place where everybody can sit comfortably. Make sure you make time to sit together with your family and to perform puja to Lakshmi Mata. That is imperative. And that's why the video that will be uploaded will give you the opportunity. Even if you don't want to do that, I'm certain that on Jagrati, that on Sankhya, that on IETV, that on the radio stations, everywhere you can think about, there will be a step-by-step puja to perform. And there's no reason that you can't do that. Do that first before you engage in the lighting of any diyas in your home. Do that first before you engage in anything else. That is the most important. For those young ones, and indeed for all of us who have had the benefit of Guru Diksha, then that is a wonderful day to do japa using our Guru Mantra. If you've forgotten the mantra, then it's a good time now to call your Guruji and let him remind you of it. But that is a wonderful day, and that in itself is a practice that we should all be familiar with. At this juncture, I will end. We have about 10 minutes, so those of you who want to do your arti while the group is engaging in kirtan, you can come forward and perform your arti at this point for the next 10 minutes or so, and then we will conclude. As we said, from next week it is possible that we will have a 1 hour and a half because the restrictions have been lifted to allow us to do that. So our format of service may change a little bit again, but we will continue to stream our services online for those persons who can't come. And again, we will continue to recommend the proper protocols that adhere to for those of you who are able to attend. As you approach Diwali, it is my fervent wish and that of all the members of the management committee, that of my family, that Lakshmi Mata showers her blessings upon each and every one of you, that you are blessed with all of the wonderful things that you desire. May she bless you with good health, happiness, peace and prosperity. May we all be blessed through her divine blessings. Jai Sitaram, everyone.
Okay.
माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए, माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए। काम जब भी कोई करिए, माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए, माता रानी का ध्यान धरिए। काम जब भी कोई करिए,
the final arti, be followed by our closing.
Lakshmi Maiya उठाई दिया की बरसा दो मातृ पार सबकी दैया दुखों से दुखी नारी की बरसा दो मातृ पार लक्ष्मी दैया
We join our palms together as we engage now in our closing mantras. We come before you, Prabhu, as your child. We come before you seeking your love and your blessing, your protection and your guidance. Forgive us for any transgressions that we have committed. Bless those persons who are ill, those persons who are healing, those persons who are afflicted in some way. Uplift them all and remove their suffering. We pray as well for those persons who are pursuing a path of deviant behavior. O Prabhu, uplift them and direct them once more upon that path of righteousness. For you, O God, a mother and father, you are family, you are friend, you are knowledge, you are wealth, you are everything to us. We seek your blessings. We all join together now in chanting this final prayer. Tvameva Mata Shabita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Shasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Astu Ma Sargamaya Namastu Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Prince Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai Bhavati Mahadev ki Jai Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai Golputra Hanuman ki Jai Achitra Durga Maya ki Jai Mahalakshmi Mata ki Jai Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Thank you around you. Sabkoi Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram, Jai Sitaram. Before these brothers and sisters, we remind you again of the announcements made earlier. That is that we will be having our virtual Diwali program this evening from 5 p.m. So please join on YouTube as the youth group posts our Diwali program this day on YouTube or on our Facebook page. You're also reminded as well that we will be uploading a video on step-by-step performance of Lakshmi Mata Puja. And again, that will be on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page. And that should be uploaded on Friday, so that we'll have it in time to prepare for Saturday to perform your puja. You're also reminded as well that branded face masks of the Mandir and Mandir t-shirts are also available on sale. Please see Mr. Babulal. He has custody of those masks and t-shirts, so please you can patronize Mr. Babulal. Also, we are expecting a visit from the mobile unit of the blood bank. And that should be later this month. The tentative date is the 20th and 21st. Donations or donors will be by appointment only, in keeping with the protocols, and you'll hear more about that next week, Sunday, as we approach that date. Finally, on behalf of all of us here at the Mandir, all of the members of the management committee, all the members of the Shri Sivan Sabha, and members of the youth group, we want to extend to you Shubh Diwali. May Lakshmi Mata bless you and your family. May we enjoy a very prosperous, very safe, and a very healthy upcoming year ahead. May Bhagwan bless you all. We'll see you all next Sunday at 8:30 as we continue with our satsang and our Sunday morning service. Jai Sitaram, everyone.